What is up, my Squirtleites? It is I, your king. Welcome you back to more Let's Play The Last Guardian. In the last episode, we began our adventure freeing ourselves and our companion, Trico, on our way out of, well, wherever the heck we are. I'm not really quite sure as to where that is, but that said, we're going to be continuing along, hopefully trying to escape with the help of our friend. Now, how he's supposed to get over this precarious little ledge here, I don't really know. But we're going to make our way over here because this seems like the best course of action, as there really isn't another way to go. So from here, I'm going to have to, if I can, jump up and grab this chain. And we're going to scale our way across. Whoa, 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 whoa! Whoa, hey, what are you doing over there? That doesn't look very safe, you know. Okay. I mean, you're the boss, I suppose. I guess that's how he plans on doing it. There is a little bit of a path here if he can just jump from pillar to pillar. If I can. Really got to be careful with this. As honestly, the most finicky part of this game is not Trico, but the kid. He is a little bit unwieldy to control. Very, very loose, almost too loose, as opposed to Eco, in the game Eco, who is incredibly tight and strict in his jumps. This kid is... He's the exact opposite problem, I would have to say. But that aside, Trico looks like he's doing his job following us. Oh my goodness, I cannot believe those are not toppling over. Alright, well I'm going to head over this way. If I can. Now how am I supposed to... You know what, actually that looks pretty brittle. Trico, do you mind helping me out here, buddy? I want your laser tail to get rid of this. Sweet! Oh, hey, would you look at that? That's convenient. Right to where we need it to go. Never mind. So much for that. Well, shoot. And I can't... I guess I could get back up to you, but I don't really think I need to. I think you'll come to me just fine. So let's make our way down this makeshift bridge, I suppose. Very impromptu bridge. And head over this way and see what we've got going on. Maybe Trico will follow. He should. By his own volition in some way or another. Let's head in here. What do we got here? This big open room with some chains. Huh, I don't know what to make of all this. What happens if we go over this way, though? This place is huge, man. Oh, we got ourselves a barrel here. I don't really know how to get to that, though. Let's see. How's Trico doing? Has he made his way across? Where is he? Hey, where'd you go? Not seeing him. Interesting. Well, he must have made his way across somehow. Either way, if he wants that barrel, he better come over here. Now, a few things I want to talk about in regards to The Last Guardian. And obviously, he can't go that way, so he has to come up this way. Last Guardian is a game that very much exercises patience. In Trico, somewhat, but really in your own play. Oh, there you are. Now you decided to follow. Trico is... He is a very deliberately designed AI, but at the same time, there are a couple things about him that are, you know, not the most responsive. And part of that is a sense of realism, but part of that is also a sense of, well, game limitations. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, this game went through all sorts of development hell. Who knows what happened in all of it? And I don't expect it to be perfect, but at the same time, I can criticize it for some of its shortcomings. I think it's obviously a very fair criticism to make. That said, this game rewards your patience exponentially. You actually reap benefits of it quite a lot if you're willing to be patient. Now, from the looks of it, if I can, come down here, buddy. Yeah, so the thing is yes, the game requires you to be patient, but as such, when you make things succeed, when you've pulled things off, and not saying it takes like several minutes for it to happen, I mean 99% of the time, usually like a minute or two of like trying to work with the game, but eventually it happens, and when it does, it feels great. This game is great at making you feel like you've succeeded whenever you make something work. And I think that is a very powerful thing this game does, because patience is not something that games typically allow for. I mean, 99.9% of all games have speedrunning communities. I mean, they all can be speedrun in some fashion because they all allow for that. This is one of those games that I'm sure it can be done. I'm sure there are ways to exploit it, because I mean, every single game has ways of exploiting it. I don't really think there's a game that's so perfectly designed that it doesn't have some sort of... Ow. And this is why I said there's a problem with the boy. Oh, his leg is not doing too well. Probably should have lined that up better, but whatever. He'll get over it. Anyway, Trico, I need you to come back over here if you could. I need to get back up here. That was my bad. I apologize. I didn't line that jump up properly, and that's my fault. But yeah, I'm sure there is a way to speedrun this game, but I don't think it's practical. I don't think there is a practical way to do so, at least not at first glance. This is not a game where you're going for best time. This is not a game where you're trying to rush through it for story moments, because every single one of the little puzzles in this game is a moment. None of them are really too difficult, but from playing through it, I distinctly remember every single one of them. I think, because I have played this game already. I'm not going into this blind. But I think I could, right from the get-go, the second I get into these, each and every one of these little puzzles, I'll be able to exactly remember how to do it, what the trick was behind it, all that stuff. Because, again, it's so memorable. And I think that right there, in and of itself, is a huge strength of this game. Because, that's a really hard thing to do, to make every single moment in this game so freaking distinct. And Trico is going to find his way up here, don't worry. He is much smarter than that, than you think, I suppose. In fact, there's a lot of moments in this game where I have to admit Trico is a lot smarter than I am. So, despite the many frustrations you might feel from playing this game, if you are willing to just kind of sit down and be like, look, I am going to just play this game. I'm just going to kind of let it happen. I'm not going to be in a huge hurry or anything. You will be rewarded, and you will absolutely love it. So yeah, it makes sense why this game was so polarizing. Because look, Trico isn't the fastest moving creature, as you can see, and we're not sprinting through this game at all. This game very much runs at a slow walking pace. Hey, did you ignore the barrel here? Come here. I've got food. I'm gonna set that down right there, and you can eat it. Got it? Good. All right. So, we have a brittle door here that I'm going to have him break down with his laser tail. Please. And we're good. Alright. Making progress, making progress. And at a reasonable pace, might I add. I do want to hurry through this game as much as possible, because I do know the solutions for it, and I do want to kind of show you the most efficient way of doing everything. But at the same time, you can only hurry so much through this game. Now, as far as technical shortcomings go, you are going to notice plenty of them in an area like this. As you can see when I swivel the camera around, frame dips! There are quite a few of them. I am playing this on an original PlayStation 4. I am not playing this on a PlayStation 4 Pro. So, there are lots of frame dips in this game, which is unfortunate. It isn't, the best thing. But, does it affect gameplay? No. No, I'm gonna actually make the argument that it basically doesn't affect gameplay, especially in gameplay-heavy sections. Trico! I'm not in there anymore. I'm right here. Do you think you can get up and over there? I think you can. Yes, you can. Good boy. Yeah, especially in the gameplay-heavy segments, there aren't really a lot of frame dips. And not to mention, aside from a little bit of the platforming, which really is more about just lining up the camera properly and making your jump, you don't really need to be super responsive. You don't need to be quick thinking or light on your feet or any of that stuff. That really isn't something in this game that you have to worry about too much. But the frame dips are ugly. There's no denying that. It isn't the most visually appealing thing. And it is a problem, and I really do hope that sometime in the future they do get this patched for the initial PlayStation 4. I know on the Pro, it runs almost it runs actually perfectly flawless in 1080p, but again, it is a problem, and luckily it doesn't have an impact on gameplay as much as it just does on visuals. So we're gonna wait for Trico to come over here. I think he's having a fun time exploring the forest, possibly. Let's see, where are you, buddy? What are you doing? You taking a look at the scenery? I mean, don't get me wrong, it is very pretty. I love the art direction in this game. Once again, visual detractors of this game, you can all suck it. This game looks beautiful. Some of the textures don't look that great up close, but I don't really think that's ever been a thing with console games ever. This game is gorgeous to look at. It really, really is. Frame drops aside, very pretty. Any still you can take of this game looks absolutely lovely. So we can't get over this ourselves. We're going to need Trico to do it for us. And he will. In fact, we don't even need to tell him to. Come on, buddy. There you go. Good boy. He is so smart. Alright, down you go. There. Wonderful. Alright. Let's get a move on. Ow! Okay, that wasn't the most graceful drop. Excuse me. But Trico, excuse me. Buddy, what's going on? What? Oh, he's got the red eyes. Oh, this? What? Here. Is that better? Come on, you. I don't know why you were so scared of that, you big baby. Essentially, that's what Trico is. Trico is your big dumb baby, and I love him. Alright, so it looks like... Well, we can go that way, but what's over here? Guess it's worth a look. Oh, we got ourselves a barrel. Let's grab this. Why not? It's good to feed Trico when you can. Keeps him happy, keeps him cooperative. I mean, it really doesn't make him uncooperative if you don't grab as many barrels as you can, but... at least not this early in the game. But we'll get into more of that later. For now, I got food for you. Hey. I'm going to put that right there. Typically throwing at him, yes, he can catch it in midair, but he doesn't typically go for it as often as when you just drop it for him. So I'm going to do that. Hopefully he eats it. If he doesn't, well, that's his loss. Are you playing with your food? Alright. Like I said, big, dumb baby. Alright, so how about this? Why don't I try throwing it? Totally dumb baby. Alright, fine. He is being such a stinker. I'll just set it right there for him. What the frick? Okay, that was a physics glitch. No question. I don't really think any of the games in the Eco trilogy have ever had the best physics, let's be honest. They've all had their problems. I mean, I do feel like this game was kind of very much made in the same physics engine. I think it was the exact same physics engine as the HD remasters of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus. Fine, if you don't want to eat it, that's fine. I'm just going to leave. He'll follow. Which I honestly think is a bad thing, because if there was one problem I had with the HD remakes of Eco and Shadow, it was the physics. That was the biggest issue with the games. I need to get up there somehow. And hopefully he'll follow, but... What is over here? Let's see. Some sort of balcony. With really nothing but a good view. Huh. Is there any way... Nope, just a bunch of trees, moss... Nothing in particular. Anyway. Yeah, the remakes of Shadow and Eco were very problematic in the physics department. Like, I'm sorry. I know those games definitively look better. In Eco, it really isn't as much of an issue because, you know, the physics don't matter as much in that game. You're literally swiping at wisps of air that, you know, don't react to physics in any way, shape, or form. And the jumping is very stiff. It was never really good in the first place. So with that game, it's not really a problem. I actually do think the PS3 version of that is an improvement. But with Shadow, I think despite the fact that the frame rate is better, and I don't need you to go anywhere. I actually just need to get over and above you, Trico. Excuse me. There we go. Hold on. Let's get this camera lined up if we can. There we go. Make this jump. Perfect. But yeah, Shadow had a lot of problems with its physics, and that I think was a big issue for me with that game. And it does kind of transfer over into this game, but again, it's not as necessary as it was in Shadow, where you're literally trying to grip these monsters that are flailing and moving around the whole time, while your character is also flailing and moving around, yet you need him to be steady so you can stab the beasts. And yeah, you see my problem here. All right, so let's jump up there, and if we can, let's drop here. No, don't get up. Don't get up. I didn't want you to do that. I want you. Can you? No, I guess you can't do that. Or maybe we can do this then. Come on. Perfect. Right? Yes. There you go. Good kid. All right, and drop. And through we go. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, baby, don't want to just drop there. That would not be the best. How about we drop like this? There we go. Sweet. And there's a lever here that should allow Trico to get through. Come on. Ah, perfect. Well, I think we made some pretty good progress in this episode. And I think that, well, after I'm going to feed Trico first, but that is going to be it for this episode of Let's Play The Last Guardian. I hope you all enjoyed it very, very much. And I will see you all in the next one. Can you catch this one? No. Of course you can't.